leo Comrade Power. Asante. Asante comrade. Asante comrade. Asante Comrade Power. Comrade Power. Sasa ni siku ya kwanza ya kiongozi wetu rasmi wa upinzani to address you. Mko tayari wasalimu? Vile, the only thing I want to tell you, Your Excellency, vile nimeona hapa kwa hawa majenzi, ukiunda ile serikali yako shadow cabinet, usifanye vile Zakayo alifanya. Tungependa tuone majenzi kwa hiyo cabinet yako. Tungependa tuone huyu Babu Owino anatosha kuwa waziri wa elimu asipokuwa gavana. So nataka nimpe sasa nafasi aseme nasi, and he officially opens this function. The panelists, please, as soon as he finishes, take your seats. We've taken too much time so that we can proceed on. Asanteni, please be seated.
Thank you. Asanteni. Thank you. Power. Thank you. Comrade Power. Comrade Power. Asanteni. Kwanza ni kusema, I think to our presenters, we have taken longer than necessary. So please bear with us, because basically we want to hear 14 years of Constitution 2010. I was privileged at Uhuru Park then, before they messed it up in recent years, to have been one of the 3 people who saw allegiance to this document. Number 1 was President Kibaki, may God rest his soul in peace. Number 2 was Prime Minister Raila Odinga, and I was the 3rd to swear. This, as Babu Owino has been saying, is a living document. And today we're on a serious mission. Really very serious, sacrosanct mission. As a people, okoa katiba, okoa Kenya. So I thank the organizers for putting together this event, coming as it does at a critical time and at a place which is of historic significance, Ufungamano House. It is here at Ufungamano where the journey towards establishment of Constitution 2010 was begun. And therefore we will guard this Constitution. On our part, we will guard this Constitution with our lives, and that is what our young people have demonstrated. Article 1 of this document says all sovereign power belongs to the people of Kenya. Article 2 of the Constitution says, among other things, that this is the supreme law of the land. Any other law which is inconsistent with this Constitution is void to the extent of such inconsistency. And so that those who want to act in violation of this document may know that Kenya is not an island. Under Article 3, I believe, we said that all the international instruments, international treaties to which Kenya is a signatory form part of what one would call the law of the land. All the rights treaties, including the International Criminal Court. we are signatory to the ICC. This is why lately we have made it clear, following the Gen Z demonstrations. They were not, some have called them protests. They are not. The young people of Kenya were exercising their lawful constitutional right under Article 37 of our Constitution to picket, to petition those in authority and others. And I want to thank the international media, including the Kenyan media. The media in this country are not spared police brutality, as happened to the lady in Nakuru, working, I think, for MediaMax, who was shot and injured. And that did not even spare international media personnel. Larry Madowo of CNN. And they didn't know what they were doing, because Larry Madowo was interviewing the Gen Zs in the streets, armed only, as we have said before, with their national flag, the pride of the nation, a bottle of water, and their telephones. And I gather, even as we speak, they have even switched off Wi-Fi. Are you able to access internet? Can you imagine the type of administration you are dealing with? Imagine that this important event is even derailed. But I can tell you one thing, Mr. Ruto, you can never derail the aspirations of the Kenyan people. It is not possible. It is too late. Therefore, going forward, we will not even take this. Fortunately, the media are here. You need to tell the country, what are they afraid of? Therefore, the supreme law of the land is what has made us to gather here. Today, the second day after the 14 years of a very progressive document. Article 43 is very important as well. Article 27 on the right against discrimination. So if you discriminate our education system and you discriminate against Kenyan parents and students, imagine what psychological impact is occasioned by you being asked, as you fill in that portal, eleza the mental status of your parents. Is your mother or your father depressed? Does he suffer mental illness? I saw some of those forms. What are you doing? Degrading the Kenyan personality. Well, we tell you one thing. That whole thing, Band 1, Band 2, Band 4, is unconstitutional. It is unconstitutional, and I think our courts will declare that unconstitutional. I don't need to say I once was Minister for Education, that under President Kibaki we did what we did, declared a free primary education, made it even compulsory. It is that system of education which has produced the Gen Zs. By the way, this constitution could be in the streets, Senator Abua tells me, could also be in the streets. 14 years could also be in the streets with the Gen Zs. Therefore, we must defend the right to freedom. We have only this country that we call our motherland, and we know that men and women in this country have died in defense of freedom. And this country is now become the example in the world. The Gen Zs in Kenya are now celebrated worldwide. University students in Bangladesh took the cue and they overthrew a dictatorship. Our Prime Minister Ashin, I think that was her name, had to flee by helicopter to India. because she interfered with university education, because she brought discrimination. So we are not through with you, Kenya Kwanza. The Kenyan people are not through with you. And by the way, let's be very clear. There's no way you can act in contradiction of this law and get away with it. One thing is very clear, and I was having lunch before I came here with some international diplomats, and they're all full of praise for the Kenyan Gen Zs. Larry Madowo, every 1 hour on CNN, the whole world is being treated to what happened in the streets of Kenya. And one mama is being asked, are you in support of this demonstration? Say, yes, they are helping us. They are our children. Parliament, in our view, stands impeached by the Kenyan people. The moment you allowed a sniper to go on top of the National Assembly and kill those young people we found in the morgue, as if they're international terrorists, and all they were trying to do was to come and petition their members of parliament, and then they went in. That to me amounted to taking power under Article number 1 of the Constitution, where Kenyans can choose to exercise their sovereign power either directly or through their democratically elected representatives. So if you are not democratically elected, you are not a Kenyan representative. You're not representative of the Kenyan people. So we must stand strong. And I want to give my pledge that the opposition, working together with the Gen Zs, the millennials, their parents, will work as a team to make sure that there will be no derogation of our basic rights under this Constitution. And nobody will be allowed to get away with it. It's not possible. This is a new country. It's a new country. The Gen Zs are able, I think with assistance sometimes of artificial intelligence, to even go into your bank accounts and find out how much you have stolen. They are able to fight corruption in real time. And so let us keep at it. Without let or hindrance, this will be the order. This is the new Kenya. You may think you have demoralized them. You may think you have killed them and you have scared them. But it is not possible to kill that spirit of true liberation and national salvation. And therefore we say, Okoa Kenya, Okoa Katiba. Tuseme Okoa Katiba. Okoa Katiba. Wangapi wako tayari kuokoa katiba hii? Because this is the way to go. Comrades, power. Comrades, react. Comrade, Babu. He will talk to you because he was here as a leader for a very long time, as a student leader, and we thank you, Babu, for standing strong. We will stand with you. We stand with you.